You know, when things go bad on a mountain, you know, they go bad pretty fast. So it's a sport that's extremely intense, very focused, and actually was something I really enjoy. I took a fall on the Bolivia climb that kind of gave me a different perspective.
I was going to ask, did you ever have any really close calls, scary situations?
Yeah, this climb we came down actually, you know, after summiting, you kind of feel like you're standing on top of your own little world. You know, you do feel a little bit like Sir Edmund Hillary, because again, that's Dave and myself at 22,000 feet. Which was my highest peak, a little under 22,000 feet. There's a woman that's in that picture with us. She has done all 54 of the 14ers and then some. So I would be on her rope, you know, over many men, just because she's a very talented climber. All the climbs we do are at night. You know, we typically leave, you know, to Bolivia. You know, we did, you know, multiple days of training, you know, acclimating to high altitude, and then ultimately you go up to a base camp, and then ultimately you go up to a high camp. And then typically you start out somewhere between 11 and 1 in the morning, and you ascend up to the peak. The idea is to get to the summit around daybreak. And the critical element there is that, you know, we're on a glacier. As soon as that sun hits that glacier, it begins to melt the top inch to 2 inches. And we're all wearing these large boots with crampons, and the crampons only adhere to ice or very thick snow. So as soon as that 1 to 2 inches of slush appears, it becomes very difficult, and especially as you're going down, because you just slide right through it. So the idea is to get up to the summit, give your high fives, have a tear or two, eat a candy bar, and then start the long journey down. The journey up, in some of these cases, can be 8 to 10 hours. We climb through the night, dark, so we have headlamps. Very monotonous. You know, you climb for an hour, hour and a half, you stop, you break, you put on gear, you sit down, you hydrate, have a candy bar, you get back up, you do it further, and then lo and behold, if you keep going straight, you get to the top. But it's not one of those things where you're up there joking around, having a lot of laughs. It's very, very serious. You got to pay attention to the, you know, where the climber. On the way down, we came down in a little different area, and there was no snow bridge. So the only way to get across the crevasse was to jump it. So he set me up with what they call a short rope technique.
Okay, but when he told you had to do this,
like what did I think?
Well, yeah.
Well, you know, you're kind of in this situation where you've got an element of trust. You got this enormous amount of adrenaline. We just had summited. I mean, we were probably an hour on the way down. And to be honest with you, I mean, it's a beautiful sunny day, and you know, this crevasse may be, you know, 8 feet wide. Maybe 10 feet. But when you're standing on top up here, it doesn't look that big, right? Because you're just got to jump the other side. So anyway, the short rope, he anchors me. It was a 1-2. He unclipped me to my other partner, anchored my other partner, and it was a 1-2-3 jump. But my goal was I had to jump and then stick the other side, so I didn't go tumbling forward. What in essence happened was that I jumped, I stuck, the rope was too short, and it yanked me back into the crevasse. I fell into the crevasse, cracked my head on the back of it. And the next thing I know, this this young man who was probably about 125 pounds, dripping wet, pulled me out. And then I had an 8 to 10 hour climb down. It was, you know, it was kind of reflection time, and you know, a lot of things run through your head. We were maybe 4 hours into the climb, and he was in front of me, and he just said, "Todd, I can't go anymore." I said, I said, "Bullshit." I said, you and me together, we're going to get to the top. It just speaks to the fact that you always got to be pushing, encouraging, because he's there for me when I need a kick in the ass too, right? So it's a combination of teamwork, it's dedication, it's the training, it's the old plan the work the plan. There's no direct descent. You've got to think about it. You got to have a guide. You got to have, and it's intense. You got to be focused. By not being focused, you risk your life, or you risk your business, or whatever. And you learn a lot by making mistakes. I mean, I think that's like anything else. Because I look at what we've had the opportunity to do and create here at Lillibridge, and then even within Ventas, over the past 20 plus years, and there was no direct line from where we started to where we are today. I will say there was a vision. There was a vision back 18, 20 years ago to consolidate an industry of medical office and outpatient, really within the not-for-profit and even within the for-profit world. I mean, that was a true vision. As I say today to people who come through the front doors and who are meeting with us and interviewing with us, that vision's still the same today. The irony of it all was that we thought we were really institutionalizing an industry, which we were, and had great success in building this enormous national brand. But it wasn't about our brand, it was really about the company we kept and the people we did business with. So I always relate to our success being that who we've been given the opportunity to do business with. So it's our health system partners, it's the advocates, it's the Northwesterns, it's people that have allowed us to, work with them, partner with them, and help solve, their problems. So it was, so it's always about them and not about us. And that, I think, it's part of who I am. It's more about humility. It's more about listening. It's more about, being thoughtful. But that kind of gets back to this, this whole notion of who are you and what are you building? And I want the company not to be viewed as transactional. I want to be exceptional. And but it takes a lot of work, and we're not there. And the thing I always say as I interviewed a fellow yesterday was that for all the years I've been at this, for all the successes we have, for being the biggest, we do not have this figured out. We don't.